You're not going to be 15 and 16 forever.
It's never too soon for a student to start thinking about what they want to do.
So many areas in a medical field you can go into.
If I'm going to become a health career, I have to be very determined because it requires a lot of hard work.
So you have to be a people person. You have to be able to communicate well.
There's something really, really wonderful about health careers, and that is the fact that it's as broad as your imagination can make it.
My mother was a major force, and her saying was she didn't care if I had 50 children. If it's something you wanted to do, you can always achieve it. But just because I had 2 children, that wasn't a reason to stop me from being a nurse.
Essie Bullock always wanted to follow in her mother's footsteps and become a nurse. But after having 2 children while still in high school, some doubted she would graduate.
If people know you want to succeed and you want to do something, somebody's going to be there to help you. So I did graduate from high school. Once you graduate, it's wonderful. I've made it through this. I don't have to go to school anymore. But wait a minute, you want a job. You want a job that's paying you $20 an hour with a high school diploma. It's not going to work. You need to focus on your classes. You shoot for an A, you don't fall too far from it. But if you are just satisfied with C's and D's, you need to kind of boost it up a little bit.
Okay, that's good advice, good A's and B's, but how do you decide if healthcare is for you? What are you going to be? Think about your personal qualities, your values. Do a personal assessment.
Do I like people? Do I like to be around a large group of people?
Am I able to do this? Do I have the grades?
Do I care for people? Am I a compassionate person?
Am I a hardworking student?
You have to be a people's person.
You want to make sure that you're not a selfish individual, that you're there to give.
People who are always helping, always like working with, always like taking care of, always, you know, this person's sick and I want to help, this animal's sick, I want to help, this person can't do this, I'm going to cut the grass, you know, caring nature, helping nature. Those are the people who do best in healthcare, no doubt about it.
Do I have those types of characteristics in my personality to make me want to go into the health career and stick it out?
If you think healthcare might be a match for your personality and interests, then go for it. Roll up your sleeves and get to work. Get some experience, volunteer, or shadow a professional.
There's something that is called a shadowing program that are in some of the high schools where they go out into the communities and visit area health facilities where they'll see health professionals at work and really get a good insight into what is going on here.
Yvonne George is a health occupations teacher at Warren County High School.
Example of that. They can talk to some of these health professionals to find out, how did you get into this type of career? What were some of the things you did when you were my age?
And I can't think of a better way to really begin to understand if this is something you like to do for the rest of your life, than actually see what's done. Get out there and work with somebody. Come work with me. I have 10th grade students come here to my office and work with me. Some work once a week for the whole school year. So I would encourage students to get out there and look for those individuals who are willing to take them on as mentors and work with them and let them see what they do. If you can do that with somebody you can relate to, there's some relationship, there's some rapport because of who that person is or who their family is or the cultural tie. That's a strong role model, much stronger than if there's no relationship.
Dr. Bell is a Native American physician. After medical training, he set up practice back home in Pembroke, North Carolina, working with children.
Listen to your heart, okay? Where's your heart at? Can you show me? That's a smart boy. Let's see what you sound like today. I grew up about 2 miles down the road here. I went to, all the public schools here. Graduated from Pembroke High School about 20 years ago. You take care of family members and watch them grow, and you feel like you have some input into their health. It's a real important role I play here. Not just as it relates to education, but spiritually, culturally. I'm a dancer at our traditional powwow, so kids get to see me do that, and I think it means something important to them.
Dr. Bell didn't always know he wanted to be a doctor. He talked to people to help figure it all out. He talked to teachers, his guidance counselor, and his parents.
My mom and dad were very supportive, and they were school teachers, and they always stressed education to me and my brothers. And I remember talking to my counselor one day in the 11th grade, and the way we used to do it when I was in this a long time ago was you used to line up alphabetically and go in and spend 5 minutes with the counselor. And I remember one day meeting with him and saying that I was interested in medicine, and he said, well, maybe you could do pharmacy. He just threw it out. And I wasn't even thinking about pharmacy. And so I kind of said, well, yeah, I can do that. And so I went to pharmacy school first. I knew then that that's not what I wanted to be, and so I went into medical school right out of pharmacy school. And so, yeah, I had the doubts, but I was willing to, give it a chance and sacrifice what I needed to sacrifice to reach that goal. I tell students, when I talk to high school students now, getting ready to graduate high school, I say, well, when I was at your stage and finishing 12 years of school, I still had 12 more to go. And it really, their eyes just bug out, and I tell them, I say, I don't tell you that to discourage you. I just say that, if you want to do things like become a doctor, you have to take on those challenges and say, whatever it takes to get to my goal, I'm going to do.
So here's one way to decide and plan for a health career. Talk to people, get some hands-on experience, get yourself a mentor, and draw out a timetable. Review annually. Plan for what courses you need to take and when. Practice the big tests, the SAT or the ACT. Plan for extracurriculars and plan.
So you take the SAT or pre-SAT, SAT as early as possible, and then you make sure you do that to get the score that you really want to submit to a college for entrance. Start taking all the maths and sciences that you can take. If foreign language is available in high school, you want to make sure you take that and develop a long-term career plan so that you can start early at looking at various things that you may find yourself interested in.
You can use any...
Some schools can give you a head start with specialized health occupations classes.
I introduced them to a variety of health careers, and right there they see the educational requirements, the roles and responsibilities, and they also see how much money they could be making, because that can also be an attraction for very young kids, Yeah.
For old kids too.
Essie completed this health occupations curriculum with a career ladder approach to accomplishing her training in healthcare.
Good. See that? Very good. Do we have any more questions on that? It doesn't necessarily have... One of my students started out in my program, the Health Occupations program. She was a highly motivated and very, very dedicated, hard worker. She started as a nursing assistant. Then she went on to the community college where she did the phlebotomy program.
I worked full-time each time I went to school. When I went to LPN school, I was a phlebotomist. I love drawing blood. Red is my favorite color. And became very good at it. But I had to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning, work from 6 until 6 o'clock. Then I left work and went to Durham Tech, the school, worked all day, got out about 4, came back to work, worked from like 5 until 9:30, went home to take care of my mom, and then started everything all over again for the week. And then I worked 10 hours on the weekend. And I went back to nursing school in the summer of '94. Some of the books I wasn't able to get at the time, so I went through almost the whole class without a book, but I paid attention in class and just made copies from other students. So I had to improvise. be a little creative. So, and it worked. I finished in May of '95 and obtained my RN degree. Took my boards, and it's a breeze.
Creativity, determination, hard work, support from teachers, family, and friends were all important ingredients for Essex success. There's also more help statewide for students, a whole cluster of health education resource centers called AHECs. Deborah Venable directs the Mountain AHEC's Health Careers Development.
There is an area health education center in every area of North Carolina that serves several counties. So each student could find out where their AHEC is and call that AHEC number and ask for the person who works in health careers. And that person, like me, is available to support these students in any way they need help, to come to the school and talk with them, to talk with the student and their parents. There are also manuals available in their schools. There's a health careers manual. That gives information on each specific health career area, where you go to school, what kinds of courses you have to take. We provide resources to help students get access to scholarship money, to financial aid. We also want to let you know that, sometimes it's hard for your parents, and we'll support your parents if they need some help. We have a lot of resources in North Carolina for students who are interested in health careers. The first place to start is in your school.
The AHECs can help you and help your family on the road to a health career and college. Special programs help too. Like this summer camp open to health career-minded middle and high school students. Summer or year-round programs enhance science and critical thinking and can offer students a closer look at areas of special interest.
One of my students last year was exposed to the medical school where she was able to interact with the cadavers. And when she came back, she was so excited about what she was able to do. That gives students an opportunity to really decide whether or not a health career is for them.
The AHECs work closely with another network of resources for students called NCHCAP, North Carolina Health Careers Access Programs. Sylvia Johnson runs the NCHCAP office at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
We have a clinical program, a summer clinical program that we encourage the students to participate in. I am able to have 8 students out in the summertime placed in various clinics locally where they can get the type of experience or exposure that's needed in order to decide whether they want to be in a health profession.
Not everyone can become a physician. There are over 200 health careers, but someone can find his or her niche in one of those.
Turn around and get you out of the middle of the hallway.
If you are a caring person and you like the idea of helping others, if you like options and variety and don't mind hard work, get involved. Explore a career in healthcare.
We have people who work with computers. We have people who fly helicopters. We have people who work in library systems. We have people who do graphic design and video work. When we think about health careers, sometimes we think, well, I don't like blood and guts, and gee, I really don't want to be a doctor, and I don't want to be a nurse, and I want to give somebody a shot. But the cool thing about health careers is that, your imagination can take you anywhere you want to go.
Healthcare is the most wonderful avenue in the world. There's so many things that you can do. I've worked at a pediatrician's office, I've worked at a dialysis unit, worked in a nursing home, did a little bit of private duty, small amount of home health, and now I'm a public health nurse.
Middle school is absolutely not too young to start. It's never too soon and it's never too late.
Never give up.
Study hard. Get good grades. Be determined. Set goals.
And only you can prevent you from getting there.
look, if I could be a physician, you could be a physician.